Welcome to the Brand Wise podcast, where we talk about the big branding moves that business owners are making and the why behind it. I'm your host, Jess Freeman, here to help you be wise and be bold. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode. Today we're talking about something I see happening with established professionals, business owners a lot. So you've built a good business, you've got a wait list of clients, maybe you're getting really good results for people, but you're still trying to just build authority through Instagram stories, posts on Threads, LinkedIn, while your website is sitting there like an outdated business card from 2019. I literally just saw a post on Threads right before recording this from someone who said, I know my website is out of date. I just deactivated it because I didn't realize people were actually finding it, because she is so active on social media and uses her email list a lot and doesn't prioritize her website. She just deactivated it, which is not what I would recommend. So, today's episode, I'm talking specifically to those of you who've been in this industry for 5 years, 10 years. And if you're not that far in business, you can still listen and learn from this. But those of us who have been in the business longer, we've probably worked with hundreds of clients by now. But for some reason, so many business owners are still just trying to build that authority post by post, DM by DM, like you're just starting out. And I have heard all the justifications over the years. My referrals come from word of mouth. I'm too busy serving clients to worry about my website. My business is successful without a website. And sure, yes, you are making it work. But here's what nobody has told you yet. While you're maintaining your success through maybe sheer force of will, you are leaving a lot of opportunities on the table by ignoring your website. Because when someone Googles you after hearing about your work, when a potential partner considers collaborating with you and they're trying to kind of vet you, when a conference organizer is looking for a next speaker or panel person to join, they're landing on a website that makes you look like just another coach, not the leader that you actually are. So today we're going to dive deep into what your brand is really saying about your level of expertise, and more importantly, why it might be holding you back from your next level of growth. If you are tired of feeling like you're underselling your expertise and people aren't buying into what you have to offer them, this episode is for you. So first, let's talk about what your brand is visually communicating about your expertise. This isn't about having a pretty website. This is about having a platform that positions you for the opportunities you actually want. Maybe that's book deals, speaking engagements, high ticket programs, strategic partnerships with brands. But right now, your visual brand is positioning you for $97 programs like you're in your first year of business. But you've got team members. You're turning down more clients than you're accepting. You're being invited to speak on stages and summits and podcasts. But your website is still telling the story of who you were when you were first hustling for those first 10 clients. This isn't just about aesthetics. This isn't about changing fonts. This is about showing authority. When someone's considering investing 4 or 5 figures to work with you, they're not just buying your expertise. They're buying into the entire experience of working with a leader. And right now, that experience starts with a website that's underselling everything you've built. And you know what's wild? I see people who will invest $20,000 in a business coach, 20,000 in a mastermind, 10,000 for a month of ads, but they're still using the same brand and website that they had when they were charging $100 an hour. And when you're playing at this level, your visual brand isn't just about looking professional, it's about looking like the authority that you actually are. It's about creating a presence that matches the caliber of service you provide and the expertise that you have. Think about it. When is the last time your brand got the same level of thought as your group program development? When's the last time your website evolved as much as your methodology has, or your podcast, or your social media strategy? Because if you're still running the same brand you had when you were charging half of your current rates, we need to talk about what that's really costing you. I see a lot of professionals settling for quote unquote good enough because their business is already successful. And I get it, because if it's already working, like, why would you need to spend more time or money on a website? But you didn't build a 6-figure or 7-figure business by settling for good enough. That's why you kept learning about social media. That's why you kept trying new strategies. That's why you've hired other experts to help with your strategy, with your group program, with the tech, whatever it is. So why are you settling for good enough in the platform that represents you to the world? So I don't want to just talk about the visuals. I also want to talk about messaging, because this is also where I see even the most successful professionals also undermining their own expertise. You've spent years developing your methodology, your framework, but somehow your website sounds exactly like every other professional out there. And at your level, this isn't just a messaging problem, it's also an expertise problem. So let me paint you a picture. You're a dietitian in your office talking to a client. You're confident, you're clear, you know exactly how to explain these complex health concepts in a way that makes sense. And you've got case studies that show you can get people results. Your methodology, your way of helping clients gets results that speak for themselves. But then someone lands on your website, and what do they see? Generic wellness industry buzzwords, vague promises about transformation, copy that could literally be copied and pasted onto any other professional's website. Where's the expertise that your clients rave about? Where's the distinct framework that sets you apart? Where's the confidence that comes from a decade of getting results? And this can apply to any niche. If you're listening and you're not a health professional, like this applies to everybody. When you are charging premium rates, when you've got a wait list of clients, when you're being asked to speak, your messaging needs to do more than just explain what you do. It needs to position you as the obvious choice for your ideal clients. But right now, your messaging is positioning you as just another option, just another coach. Talk about the actual results that you've gotten people. You've got clients who've maintained their results for years. You've developed protocols and frameworks that other people want to learn. But is your messaging telling that story? Or is your website stuck in this generic wellness promise copy that could have been written by ChatGPT? And don't even get me started about consistency across platforms, because I see people who are amazing at sales calls, who are amazing when they speak on stage or podcasts. They get incredible engagement on social media. But then their website reads like it was written by their quietest intern. Your expertise shouldn't shapeshift depending on the platform. When someone moves from your Instagram to your website to your email list, they should feel the same level of confidence in your expertise. Instead, I'm seeing people who sound like industry leaders on social media, but then their websites sound like they're trying to prove they still belong in the room. People are not looking for vague promises. They're looking for clear expertise, proven results, and a very distinct approach. They're looking for someone who's confident enough in their method to say, this is what I do, this is exactly how we do it, and this is why it works. Your messaging shouldn't just explain what you do. It should establish why you're the best at what you do. It should make it clear why your wait list exists, why you charge premium rates, why other professionals want to learn from you. But if your messaging sounds like everyone else, you're leaving money and impact on the table. The same expertise that has built your business to this point is actually capping your growth if you're not communicating it effectively. You've outgrown generic messaging. It is time for your brand to tell the story of your expertise. And I do want to spend a little time talking also about the structure of your website, because this is where I see even multiple six-figure people leaving serious credibility on the table. When someone's considering investing 5 figures to work with you, they're not going to play detective on your website. They're not going to scroll through 17 blog posts to figure out, like, what is this person's approach? What do they believe? I see people who have been featured in major publications, who are leading industry conversations, who are getting really good results, but their websites are structured like they're still trying to be everything to everyone. Your website structure isn't just about organization, it's also about positioning. Every decision on your website should be intentionally guiding people towards seeing you as an industry leader. But instead, I'm seeing people who have websites that are structured like they're still trying to book $97 discovery calls. I see people investing in high-end photo shoots, spending thousands on business coaching, developing these amazing group programs, but their website hasn't evolved. Their thought leadership content is buried in a blog that hasn't been updated since 2022. Their media features are hidden in a tiny slider at the bottom of their homepage, and those aren't updated. Your expertise deserves a platform that's structured with the same level of intention and excellence that you bring to your clients. Anything less isn't just underselling your expertise. It's actually working against the authority you've spent years building. Now, I want to talk also about some branding and website mistakes that I'm seeing people make. First, when your website feels more like a lifestyle blog than a platform for a serious professional who charges 5 figures. Your brand needs to be sophisticated, not just stylish. Think about the difference between a luxury medical practice and a day spa. Both can be beautiful, but one is going to clearly communicate serious expertise while the other focuses on experience. Then there's what I call the everyone's welcome syndrome. You've built a successful business with a specific type of client. You get incredible results with a specific type of problem. You've developed frameworks for different situations, but your messaging is trying to speak to everyone who's ever had a concern in the realm of anything that you could do, because you're scared of being specific and you're scared of scaring people away. Would you rather be known as the go-to expert for helping high-performing executives recover from burnout? Or would you rather be known as someone who helps everyone live their best life? A lot of you are positioning yourselves as generalist when you're actually a specialist. And the biggest credibility killer I'm seeing is neglected platforms. I cannot tell you how many times I come across someone on social media and I'm like, woo, look at her. And then I go to their website and it looks like it hasn't been touched since 2015. There's case studies from 2017, blog posts that just stopped in 2021. Their quote unquote latest podcast is from 18 months ago. The photos immediately date the images because of the outfits that they're wearing. Social proof from companies that don't exist anymore. When you are charging premium rates, when you're positioning yourself as an industry leader, your platform needs to reflect that you're actively leading. But instead, I'm seeing these platforms that look like time capsules. People will update their frameworks, they will update their group programs, invest in new certifications, refine their client experience, change CRMs, all while they let their website collect dust. And I know why this happens. You're busy serving clients, you're focused on getting results, but at your level, a neglected platform isn't just unprofessional, it's undermining your expertise every single day. Your brand can't just be good enough. It can't just be pretty. It can't just exist. It needs to be actively working to position you as the leader you are. And I'm not telling you that this means you have to update your website every single week. It's not about that level of just busy work, but it is about keeping it updated consistently. Your expertise deserves better than a brand that is stuck in the past. It deserves better than trying to appeal to everyone. And it definitely deserves better than being hidden behind an outdated website that makes you look like you've stopped growing. So what do you actually do about this? Let's talk about 3 steps you can take if you're serious about wanting your brand to reflect your level of expertise. First, let's do a brand audit. And I'm not talking about asking your business bestie what she thinks of your website. You need a strategic analysis of how your brand is actually positioning you in the market. Is it positioning you for a book deal that you want? For the speaking opportunities that you're after? For the partnerships you're seeking? Or is it positioning you for a $97 program and one-off clients? Second, this is not a DIY moment. You didn't build a multiple 6-figure practice by being a jack of all trades. So we need to stop trying to piece together your brand yourself. The people who are scaling to 6 and 7 figures, they're working with professionals who understand how to position expertise-driven brands. And finally, this is non-negotiable. You need a system for keeping your brand current. Your expertise evolves, your offerings evolve, your business evolves, your brand needs to evolve as well. It should be growing with you, not hanging out 3 or 5 years behind where you actually are. It's not just about looking professional, it's about positioning you for the next level of impact. If you're ready to stop letting your brand undersell your expertise, you can head over to justcreatives.com. I've worked with over 400 businesses and I help established health and wellness professionals build brands that position them as an authority. Your brand, from your visuals to your messaging to your website, it's either positioning you as the leader or it's keeping you stuck where you were 3 years ago. There's not a lot of middle ground. So think about, what story is your website telling about your expertise? You have worked too hard, developed too much expertise, and gotten too many results to let an outdated brand and website hold you back. Your expertise deserves better than that. So I hope this episode gave you some good things to think about as we go into 2025. If you have questions about any of this, or you just want to talk about it, you can also hit me up on Instagram at justcreatives. Otherwise, I will see y'all next time. If today's branding story inspired you and you're ready to start your own rebrand adventure, head over to justcreatives.com/rebrand to explore how we can work together on your brand. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to leave a review or share it on Instagram, and tune in next week for another episode.